Next slide here. This here is a list of the NATO member countries. And the NATO member countries are in yellow. And of course, Russia is in green. And you've got Russian countries that are allies, or Russia's allies also are in green as well too, but to the left they are not. And so you can see here the geographical positioning of Ukraine. Ukraine basically is right next to Russia. Ukraine, a matter of fact, if you look at Ukraine in correlation to how close it is to Moscow, Moscow is probably right around where you see the word Russia, and it's very close. So Ukraine is not where Poland is. It's not where Lithuania is. It's not where Hungary or Romania is. It is literally right next to the heart of Russia. So any social developments, cultural developments that take place in Ukraine likely spill over into Russia. And I'm saying that because this as a premise for what my belief is in terms of the motivation of Vladimir Putin to attack the country of Ukraine. And it's not the only reason, but it is a primary factor, in my opinion. He wants to keep its cultural identity, and he refers to Russia as the fatherland. And so this, of course, is not going to go over well with the left because that's just too patriarchal. And he has a religious influence. I don't know how good of a guy he is. He potentially is a bad guy. I don't know. I'm not for attacking another country. However, I will say this. I believe he is resisting the expansion of Western globalism and the expansion of what we would call the New World Order. And so in that sense, I kind of feel like he's a little bit of you would call it almost a Robin Hood pushing back. And so at the same time, what's happening, unfortunately, the poor Ukrainian people are suffering as a result. Hopefully this conflict will be resolved quickly and fast. I'm hoping this President Zelensky guy will meet with Putin's counterparts and they will come up with an agreement. I know they tried to the other day. And so what happened was they met, I think, within the last 24 hours, probably by Zoom or something like that, so nobody takes anyone out. But basically, the communication broke down and Vladimir Putin called him a terrorist and said, you surround yourself with terrorists and drug addicts. And I thought that was pretty interesting because earlier I covered some slides that showed that Ukraine was rated as the third most corrupt nation in the world. Yes, absolutely. Pray for Russian and Ukrainian citizens. Absolutely, Chris, definitely. So again, Ukraine was rated as the third most corrupt nation in the world, along with Colombia and Brazil. So there is something off in Ukraine. I'm not saying it's all the people. There's a lot of good people. I'm sure they're absolutely humble people and what have you, kids, children, families, etc. However, in the government, there's tons of corruption. It's been claimed that George Soros helped install President Zelensky. So because of that, you have to look at this a little differently than what the mainstream media is telling us, right? And so it's not just the mainstream media, it's also Fox News, right? And I'm not anti-Fox. I generally like Fox, but sometimes they get a little too woke, right? And so Fox is all like, Putin bad, Ukraine good, Zelensky good, and it's not quite that clear, okay? And so, again, the Ukrainian people are the innocent ones here, but what's going on here, you have a back and forth. You have a back and forth between Zelensky and Putin. And hopefully Zelensky will work with Putin because I don't think Putin wants to take out the entire population in Ukraine. He said that these people are our people, that should be together. So there's a sense of empathy there as well, too. Hopefully that will come out in action. He said, yes, I saw somebody posting Zelensky in a trench with a hard hat and body armor. Yes, the post was saying that he is fighting with, let's say here, what does that say? Fighting with the people, yet a reverse image showed, and it was from December 2020, December 6th, 2021. So maybe that wasn't accurate. I don't know. I don't think Zelensky's a super honest guy, I'll be honest with you. He was a former comedian and what have you, and I think he was a fairly vulgar comedian, so probably not the most moral guy in the world. Right now, he is standing strong. He's not leaving his country, and so it's motivating others. I mean, you have the Klitschko brothers. They said, we're going to fight. Now, are they really going to fight? I don't know, but they're saying we're going to fight. You got Alexander Usyk, which is he's basically the heavyweight champion boxer of the world. He actually is a super talented boxer. He's going to actually fight Anthony Joshua again because Joshua wants a rematch, and Alexander took all of his belts. And so you're talking about a very strong, talented group of people. And he flew back to Ukraine on Thursday to continue his training in Ukraine. I don't know why. I would have stayed in the UK if I were him. That's me. But maybe he's back there to support his country. But it sounds like he wanted to go back and train in the area that he usually trains. So I think that's risky. I don't know. It's kind of tough to say because there's probably some editing of the news coming out of Ukraine. And as a result, we're probably not getting the complete story of what's really going on there.